भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्ट्वागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Yes, we saw yesterday the meaning of the word shastram. That which rules is shastram. That which releases you from ruling. Shasana trayate iti shastram. Shikshyate upadishyate iti shastram. It does three things. It rules in order to release you from being ruled, and ultimately it gives a teaching, upadesha, by which you are released from the rule of the Shastra. As of now, I am ruled by my likes and dislikes. I am ruled by my values, ruled by my notions. All things rule me, dictate me, how I conduct my life, how I achieve the things, how I live, etc. From that, from the hold of the likes and dislikes, the Shastra gives certain do's and don'ts, injunctions, certain way of doing the things. Thereby, you are released from hold of raga dvesha. You are released from the clutches of ahankara. You are released from instinctual life. And then you become deliberate person. Having been a deliberate person, you can further release yourself from the Shastra. How? Shastra, the subject matter, that is a Veda. The first portion is called Karma Kanda. Some say there are 4 sections also. Please understand, there are not 4 sections mentioned in the index. Looking at the subject matter, we can say it is a 4 section. In the first sections, there are various stutis and mantras about the creation and the creator and the Ishvara and all that, praise and stutis. That's what these mantras rishis saw. They were revealed by this, because of their tapas. They saw this apaurushya, nature of the Ishvara. The second part is Karma Kanda. Means various rituals are given, propitiating various devata to achieve various ends. Third section is Aranyaka, wherein various upasanas are mentioned. Different upasanas mean mental worships are given, whereby you get necessary single pointedness of the mind. And the last portion is called Vedanta, that which is at the end of Veda or Upanishad. Or you can say the Anta, Vedas, Vedanam Anta. The word Anta also means the essence. Anta means the saram. In the same context, the same meaning, Bhagavan uses this word in Bhagavad Gita. Now, in the second chapter, some of you know Bhagavad Gita, Nasato vidyate bhavaha, na abhavo vidyate sataha, ubayorapi drashtoantaha, tvanayos tattvadarshini. Ubayoho antah drashtaha, ubayoho tatparyam drashtam, ubayoho saram drashtam. So, Vedanta can also mean the Sara of Veda, the essence of the Veda. And it is also called as Upanishad. Now, this Karma Kanda section reveals various karmas by which you can achieve various ends. And this relation between means and ends, what you do and how you achieve, is apaurusha. You cannot know it. It is Ishvara's law of karma that is revealed, but that gives the phala. But while pursuing those ends, because it is natural, human being is born with desires. It's natural that human being wants some worldly pleasures here and hereafter. So it gives various karmas, but then while performing those karmas, there are certain niyamas. You have to do some upvasa, some mauna, some disciplines, certain attitudes, etc. These two things together, attitude and those karmas, helps the person to gain emotional maturity. Emotional maturity means objectivity. And objectivity means you can see the things as it is, what it is worth. That means vairagya. So you are no more guided by your fancies, your wills, your desires, and you become introvert person. And then further, those upasanas helps this process by creating a jignasa or moksha. That is called a life of dharma. When you live a life of dharma, you are led to moksha purusha. And when you discover or you discern this purusha, then you seek this knowledge that Shruti provides. Therefore, upadishyate, shikshate iti shastra. And that upadesha is given in those body of the words, or that upadesha is called Upanishad, and that body of the words, as we saw last time, in a secondary sense, is also called as Upanishad. Okay? Upanishad means the knowledge which loosens the bondage of samsara, the knowledge which destroys the ignorance, and the knowledge which takes you to Brahman, means that helps you to discover that you are Purnaha. That is Upanishad. Now, how many Upanishads are there? And how many Vedas? That you know. There are 4 Vedas. But then there are more than 200 Upanishads. In fact, some words impart the knowledge of fullness. Purna bodhavachaka. Even the Shanti mantra, Purna Madah Purna Midam itself is Akhandartha Bodhaka. It gives the knowledge of fullness, that is you. So any body of the words that gives you that you are knowledge that you are Purnaha is Upanishad. However, there are more than around 200 plus few Upanishads. Of them, generally only 10 are studied, or 11 or 12, not more than that. In fact, all the teaching of all the Upanishad is same. From different angles, they reveal the truth. Oneness between Jiva and Ishvara. So you don't need, even if you are like Nachiketas and etc. persons who were ready for the knowledge, the one teaching was enough, and they discovered this is how it is. Or in Chandogya Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, you see many sections where certain sections, certain teacher taught something, Uddalaka and Aruni Samvada, that was enough. So there is a saying, Mandukyam eva alam mumukshunam moksha siddha. Mandukya is enough. Nachet dasho upanishatam patha. Then you should study 10 Upanishads. Which are 10 Upanishads? Ishakena katha prashna, Mundaka mandukya aitriya taitriya, Chandogya bruhadaranyakam iti. Ishavasya Upanishad, I'm telling in nutshell. Isha, Keno Upanishad, Ishavasya Upanishad, Keno Upanishad, Katho Upanishad, Prashna Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, Aitreya Upanishad, Taittreya Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, and Brihadaranyaka. These are 10 Upanishads. And another 2 also are often studied, which are fairly popular, is Kaivalya Upanishad, and the other one is Shvetar Upanishad. Why these 10 are studied? For 2 reasons. All the topics or all the points that the revelation of various Upanishads are covered in 10 Upanishads. As I said, you don't need more. But the important reason is this. For us, there are 2 important reasons. This is not the reason. But every Upanishad covers the important topics. One is Bhagavad Pad Shankaracharya ji's Bhashyam is available on these 10 Upanishads. Ishakena Prashna, Mundaka Mandukya Aitreya Taittreya Chandogya Brihadaranyaka in this Upanishad. Why he chose to write only on these 10 and not others? Because the Brahma Sutra, which is Mimamsa, analysis of Upanishad Vakyas, discussion regarding the essence. What is the essence of this Vakya? What is the meaning of this Vakya? In that Brahma Sutra, most of the discussion pertains to mantras of these 10 Upanishads. Okay? And therefore, when you study these 10 Upanishads, you can study Brahma Sutra 10. Because you know what they are talking. Like if you don't know the mantra, the discussion on the mantra you will never know, because you don't know the basic thing. There will be Purva Paksha, somebody raising doubt, no, meaning of this mantra is like this, then the Siddhanti will say, no, this is not like this is like this, etc. All these discussions becomes meaningful when you know Upanishad. Okay? Now, these 10, all are important, but then among the 10, they appear in a different Vedas. They don't belong to the same Vedas. Okay? 4 Vedas are Samaveda, Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and Atharva Veda. Now, among the 10, there is of this 10 last sentence I was discussing that these Upanishads belong to various Vedas. Aitreya Upanishad belongs to Rig Veda. Then Yajurveda has two sections or two Vedas, Shukla Yajurveda and Krishna Yajurveda. Katha Upanishad and Taittiriya Upanishad belongs to Krishna Yajurveda. This Ishavasya Upanishad and Brihadaranyaka Upanishad belongs to Shukla Yajurveda. Now comes the Samaveda. Kena Upanishad and Chandogya Upanishad belongs to Samveda. And the last is Atharva Veda, Mundaka, Mandukya, Prashna and Kaivalya. All these Upanishads belong to Atharva Veda. Okay. Why I am giving you these details? The reason is the Shanti part that you chant at the beginning of the Upanishad, usually it is the one that belongs to that particular Veda. So when we are studying Ishavasya Upanishad, the Upanishad Shanti Patha is Purnamadaha Purnamadaha. Now one note of caution and little information also. These Upanishads have their names either because of a Rishi or the Shakha of the Veda, branch of the Veda, or the very first mantra, it has been given a name. Like this Upanishad is called Ishavasya Upanishad because the first mantra is Ishavasya. And therefore it is called Ishavasya Upanishad. Kena Upanishad. It is called Kena Upanishad because the first mantra is Kena. Kena Shitam Patati Preshitam Manaha. So Kena Upanishad. So like that, there are names given to this Upanishad. This body of the words is given a specific name, but it has no specific reason or logic behind. Please remember that. And this Ishavasya Upanishad, as we said, belongs to Shukla Yajurveda. And Shukla Yajurveda has two Shakha branches. It is called Kanva Shakha, another one is called Madhyandini Shakha. Okay? Now, this Upanishad mantras appear in the Karmakanda section, earlier part of the Vedas. So this is the only Upanishad that is accepted by Karmakandis, especially Arya Samajis. They accept these Upanishads and they say other Upanishads are Utpreksha, added later, which tradition don't accept, but this is for information. Now, these Upanishad mantras are little obscure. Okay? There is a note of caution. You cannot understand easily. The words occurring in these mantras and the context, etc., is little obscure. And there you cannot take the literal meaning of these mantras. You have to see the context of this. Dictionary meaning doesn't work here. You have to see the context and you have to not only interpret them in the whole vision, not only context but the whole vision also. So it is to be studied from a competent teacher. In fact, the very first Shanti mantra itself is enough to confuse. And it has confused Max Muller onwards. All English people are confused because of this Shanti. They just can't understand what our Upanishads are and what it is. They just don't know. Why? Because Purnamada Purnamidam. It is like this is whole, that is whole. Purnasya Purnamada. If you take away whole from the whole, whole is whole. It is all whole here, full, F-U-L-L, full and F-double-L. So, when I teach you, it's because some of you have not, don't have exposure to other Upanishads or the vision. Therefore, I am adding a word of caution. Generally, I don't teach this Upanishad in the beginning. We go via Katha and Mundaka and then come to Isha after these two Upanishads. But since I have been teaching Katha Upanishad in the camp here in Rajkot for the last 4 or 5 years, and I have been teaching Mundaka in US, in Arsha Gurukula camp. So some of you have attended both of them and some have attended one. And therefore I had to select something new. And therefore I opted for this. So just listen carefully, that's all. This is not, because translation won't work here. Literal meaning will not work here in this mantra. Okay. Now let us see the Shanti mantra of this Upanishad first. Okay. There is always a prayer at the beginning. Prayer is for both on the part of the teacher and the student also. Teacher also prays for the student and for the knowledge. Student prays so that the prayer for the to Ishvara, that, oh Ishvara, remove all the obstacles from my life so that I can study well. And the teacher prays, may I be able to communicate this vision so that the student grasps it, and let there not be any obstacles to teachings. So both of them, may we be free from stubbornness or likes and dislikes and subjectivity, and let's teach objectively and listen objectively. Let there be harmony or alignment between the teacher and the student. So there is a and see that mantra prayer. I'll just chant that mantra and you repeat it. Most of you know, but still we will chant and then do. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I'll chant and you chant again. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam. Purnat Purnamudachyate. Purnat Purnamudachyate. Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay. Shanti mantra or the prayer generally are 3 types. One, prayer unto the Lord, namaskara to Ishvara or glory of the Ishvara is described. Second is prayer seeking the grace or the blessings of the teacher. And third is Vastu Nirupana. The truth or the teaching is revealed in the mantra itself, in the prayer mantra itself, Shanti mantra itself. Now, as I told you, these mantras are quite obscure, difficult to understand, not easily understandable. What is that mantra? Purna madaha, Purna midam, Purnat, Purna mudaccha. Adaha means this. This is full. That is full. This adaha and idam. Idam means this, that. Subject and object also. This is full. That is full. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam. Purnat, Purnamudachyate. From fullness comes out fullness. Okay? From fullness, there is another fullness that comes out. Purnasya Purnamadaya. When you remove or bring out the fullness from fullness, what remains is fullness. Now, since we are students of Vedanta, we always interpret the word fullness as Purnatvam, F-U-L-L. But this mantra, if you translate like this, it looks like F-O-O-L. This is fullness, that is fullness. From fullness, fullness comes out. Ideal couple, an ideal progeny. To Swamiji would say, this is idiot, that is idiot, and both the idiots gave rise to third idiot. And if you take away the idiot, only idiot remains. Anyway, so understand what is Purnam, what is this is Purnam, what is that is Purnam. Now, Purnamadaha, that is full, that can be Brahman. So, that Brahman is full. And this creation is also full. Into bracket, which creation? Apparent creation. From fullness, from Brahman, this creation has come about, which is full, which is apparent. So from fullness, the Brahman, this apparent fullness, the apparent creation, which is fullness, has come about. And bringing out this fullness, means removing this fullness, apparent creation from Brahman, that fullness. What remains is fullness, means Brahman. In other words, Brahman is Purnaha, the creation is Purnaha. From Purna Brahma, this Purna creation has come about. And if you remove this creation, or at the time of dissolution, when the creation is dissolved, Pralaya Kala, it dissolves back into Brahman, what remains is Brahman. Again, this doesn't make much sense, but let us understand. This said in a context of our own experience. Our experience is accepted, and the duality is accepted. And later on, in the same Shanti mantra, the mantra resolves the duality. Acceptance and then resolution. My experience is validated, and having validated and accepted the experience, the teacher unfolds the reality of my experience. What was validated is later on falsified, is discovered to be mithya. But first it accepts and takes you to the real nature of it. What is our experience? My experience is I am a cognitive person. Any sentient being is cognitive, gains knowledge and response. Gnana Shakti decides Kriya Shakti, or Kriya Shakti follows Gnana. Actions follow the knowledge. You are this aham. When I have to, first of all, I have no choice but to relate to the world. See, the teacher is talking of two fullness. Look at the sentences. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam. Idam is Purnam, this is Purnam. There cannot be two fullness. There cannot be two infinity. And if there are two, it cannot be infinity, because each one limits the other. One infinity is limited by the other is limited by the first one. So this is accepted that there is a duality. Every sentient being is a cognitive being, and that aham, when I relate to the world, I see the world as this, idam, idam, idam. There is aham and there is idam. In the waking, you have to relate to idam, and in the dream also you relate to idam. That aham idam bheda, the duality of I and this is there in waking and in dream. In sleep it seems to be resolved, but it is resolved momentarily. Once you wake up, the duality comes out. Now, when we have to relate, you cannot remain without relating. At least you have to relate to your minds, your emotions, your feelings, your desires, everything. When you relate, then means what? You relate on the basis of your cognition. Okay? It may appear that you are dealing with the objects, but you are not dealing with the objects, you are primarily dealing with your cognition. What is there, that is dealt with in terms of response, and the nature of the response is true to your cognitions and your background. So ultimately you are relating to your cognition, and therefore we need to analyze our cognitions. You can see your perception. We don't see the world as it is. There are three ways of looking at the world. One, that is, you see it as it is, and that is called objective cognition. So many things, you see it as it is. Then you see something other than what it is. That is called subjective cognition. And in some cases, with reference to some objects, with reference to some people, some relations, you are subjective and objective both. Traditional example is to see the rope as a rope is being objective, but to see the rope as a snake is subjective. But being a student of Vedanta, seeing a rope, immediately thought may come, maybe a snake. That is subjective and objective both. Like money. Money has a double cognition. There is an objective cognition that it is a buying power. You need money to buy. It is a buying power, all right. But you see something more in it. My status, my position. Some people see security in money. All this is subjective. And when in case of relationships, when they become more and more close, our cognition about other person's behavior tend to be more subjective. You don't view the person objectively. What they call it in psychology, you become judgmental. You see that person always with a background. Yeah, you just brand that person. He or she is always like that. I know he or she doesn't want to work. I know he is always like that. That is a judgmental cognition. Now, the cognition belongs to whom? Is to me, the aham. Okay? The cognition belongs to I. Who is this I? This is where Vedanta steps in to understand the word Purnamadaha. This is Purnam. I am Purna. What is this I? As far as it is beyond skin, every one of us know that is not I. I am neither anything beyond skin is not me. I am not this iPad or computer, or I am not the car, or I am not mobile or table or dress, or nothing is me. That's very clear. Anything under the skin, there is a confusion. It is me. What is that? Prana is me, mind is me, buddhi is me, sharira is me. I am man or woman or handsome or beautiful or tall or short or fat or lean, or all kinds of complexes based on, centered on I. These complexes are primarily caused because of identification with this body-mind complex. Okay? This is not real I. Complexes itself means that is caused because of some identification with the physio-psycho complex. Now, everything is idam. And that aham, who is a sakshi of this physio-psycho complex, is Purnaha. That Brahman is Purnaha. And Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, this idam, beginning from my near things beyond the skin to all lokas, atala, vitala, rasatala, talatala, all are nothing but Purna. Why? How can there be two Purnam? And now you are talking about three Purnam, that Brahman is full, I am full, and world is full. That needs to be understood and clarified by second part of the mantra. Purnasya, Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate. From Purna, the fullness comes out. Now, first question we saw, how can there be two Purnam? And then second is, where is the possibility of something originating from Purnam? Something being born out of Purnam. Where is this possibility? If it is full, there cannot be anything that can come from Purnam. The answer is this. If there are both of them Purna, and when you say the second Purna has originated from the first Purna, that means the separation or origination is only a point of view. Okay? Or origination or creation is only a value addition, nothing else. Then it is possible. From this Purna, another, that is also Purnam, this is also Purnam, and from Purna, Purna comes out. Originate, how can a fullness originate from another fullness? As I told you, it is only value addition. Our good old example of Pujya Swamiji, you have 1 ton gold and you create 100,000 ornaments out of 1 ton gold. From 1 ton gold, 100,000 ornaments are created. What is created? Nothing. Only Namaru. Only value addition is created. And therefore we can say that was 1 ton and this is also 1 ton. From 1 ton has come about. I can say that was 1 ton gold, and now whatever you have is also 1 ton gold. And from 1 ton has come about. So come about, or 1 ton, the origination of this 1 ton, from that original 1 ton is only origination of name and form. Of course, I have to add a clause. That was 1 ton, and this is also 1 ton, provided goldsmith is honest. You have to add. Otherwise, goldsmith add certain things, certain metal. That's all the profit they make when the ornament they make. Anyway, so I can say gold was 1 ton, and from 1 ton, the 1 ton ornaments have come about, and both are 1 ton. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, cause is 1 ton, effect is 1 ton, cause is full, effect is also full. And that is possible. And now I can use the word, because most of you have studied earlier 2 texts. When it is, effect is vivartakari, not parinamikari. Gold has not undergone any intrinsic change to create ornaments. Milk undergoes a change to create a curd. Gold has not changed intrinsically. So that creation, where the cause doesn't change any which way intrinsically, that is called vivartakaryam. And when the cause intrinsically undergoes change, like milk getting converted into curd, that is called parinami upadanaka. So this creation are only vivarta creation. As such, there is no creation of ornaments. It's only the name and the form that have been created, and we are constrained to use 2 ornaments and the gold. Whereas really speaking, it was gold and it is gold. And when you destroy all the ornaments, it will be gold only. So also, it was Brahman, it is Brahman, and when the Pralaya takes place, it will be Brahman. It was gold, it is gold, 100,000 ornaments. Then you have to add gold plus name and form. It was Brahman, it is Brahman. It is Brahman means what? The Brahman plus name and form. Nam Rupatmakam Jagat is also Purnam. And when you remove this second part of the mantra, I will explain next time. I have some meeting, important meeting at 9 o'clock. I'll just close. Purnasya Purnamadaya. From this wanton ornaments. When you remove the names and form, what remains is again wanton. Okay? So there is only one vastu. That is the essence of Upanishad, and that is you. It is not some Brahman we are talking about. That some Brahman is a creator, and then this is all Vivarta Karanam from Brahman, and everything is Brahman. Everything includes you. You are that. That's a message of this mantra as well. We will see it next Saturday. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari